It happened in a flash. One moment the city was a symphony of noise, a bustling chorus of life. The next, silence. An eerie, unnatural silence. No one knew what caused it, this sudden hush that fell over everything. But we were about to find out. It was terrifying. Some say it was a pulse, an invisible wave that washed over the city. Others whisper of a high-pitched frequency, a sound that shattered something deep within our world. Whatever it was, it changed everything. Our bustling city, once alive with the rhythm of footsteps and laughter, was now a ghost town. Streets, once choked with cars and noisy with the chatter of pedestrians, were now empty. The silence was deafening. The silence was the first thing that hit you. It wasn't peaceful, no, it was heavy, oppressive, like a thick blanket thrown over the city, smothering every last sound. It got under your skin, wormed its way into your thoughts. Birds no longer sang, car horns were silent. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath, afraid to disturb the unsettling quiet. The city, once a vibrant tapestry of noise, was now a canvas painted in shades of hushed stillness. It was unnerving. The silence, we soon learned, was more than just unsettling, it was deadly. The first to break the silence were the unlucky few who hadn't grasped the new reality. A cough here, a shout there, and then silence again. But this time it was a different kind of silence, the silence of absence. We didn't know what was out there, lurking in the shadows of the silent city. But we knew it was listening, waiting for the slightest peep, the smallest whisper to strike. Sound, once a source of comfort and connection, was now our greatest enemy. Fear, like a virus, spread through the city faster than wildfire. Whispered conversations, hushed and hurried, were all that remained of our once vibrant communication. We were all holding our breath, afraid of what would happen if we exhaled too loudly. Every creak of a floorboard, every rustle of clothing sent shivers down our spines. We were all living on a knife's edge, the silence a constant reminder of the invisible threat that surrounded us. We were trapped in a nightmare, a silent horror movie where the monster was the absence of sound itself. Section 5. Living in silence. Survival in this new world meant adapting. We became shadows moving silently through the deserted streets. We learned to communicate with our eyes, with gestures, with anything but sound. Our world shrunk to the size of our homes, our safe spaces. We lined our floors with pillows, our windows with blankets, anything to muffle the slightest noise. We were learning to live in a world without sound, a world where the quiet was not peaceful, but predatory. Days turned into weeks, the silence stretching on like an eternity. But then, a flicker of hope. A message scrawled on a wall in bold letters cut through the oppressive quiet. Survivors, it read, meet at the park. Midnight, no sound. Could this be our way out? Could there be others who understood, who knew how to break this deadly silence? Hope, a fragile thing in this muted world, began to bloom in our hearts. For the first time in what felt like forever, we dared to dream of a world with sound again. We gathered at the park, a silent congregation of hope and fear. Hundreds of eyes, wide with a mixture of anticipation and terror, searched the darkness, seeking answers, seeking salvation. And then we saw it, a figure emerging from the shadows, hand outstretched. Relief washed over us, so powerful it threatened to break the silence we had so carefully maintained. We had been found. We were saved. But as the figure drew closer, a gasp escaped someone's lips. It wasn't a rescue team, not a beacon of hope. It was them, the source of the silence. The creature, for that's what it was unlike anything we had ever seen. Tall, skeletal, with long, razor-sharp claws, it moved with an eerie grace that made our blood run cold. Its eyes, glowing with a malevolent green, scanned the crowd, each flicker of its gaze sending shivers down our spines. The gasp, that single, terrified sound, shattered the silence like glass. The creature, its head snapping up, focused on the source of the noise. A terrifying screech, high-pitched and ear-splitting, tore through the night. followed by a whirlwind of movement as the creature descended upon its prey. Chaos erupted. We scattered, our hope extinguished, the silence we had clung to for survival, now a cruel joke. I don't know how many of us survived that night. I don't know if there are others out there hiding, surviving. I cling to the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, there's a way to break this curse of silence, to reclaim our voices, our world. But for now, we remain trapped in a world muted, a world where the only sound is the echo of our fear.